Greetings, Mega Man fans, and welcome back to the Mega Man 42 LPA. I'm going to be honest, I am dreading this next level and boss, but it has to be done. In today's episode, we're going after Madman. Kill me now. Madman stage is some sort of an insane asylum, which starts out right away with the inmates, Springjackets. This insane bouncing straitjacket robot will shoot shots around himself in small arcs as he bounces around on his spring. He's actually probably one of the least dangerous things in this stage, and I actually will admit I kind of like him. And also bouncy padded rooms. It's basically the return of the bed gimmick from Sandman's stage, except now it's on the ceiling. It's also a lot less extensive than Sandman's bed. What is definitely extensive in this stage, though, are spikes. Oh my word, the amount of spikes in this stage is... wow. Okay, that was me not paying attention. Good going. Good going. But yeah, the amount of spikes in this stage is positively disgusting. Like, you think Deathman's stage is spiky? You should check this place out. Cause really, Madman's stage is just insane in terms of spikiness. Don't forget the pretty nice place to hang out and be a threat. It was also a relatively good spot for it to introduce itself, so I guess I can't complain too much. Another enemy type is the roller. Rollers roll forward, and at set intervals, will bounce upwards in an attempt to attach themselves to the ceiling. They're a little tricky, but you know, I've seen worse. And those enemies those aren't actually called red eyes. I've actually found a few of the names to these enemies, and it turns out those homing guys there are called Seekers. I don't have all the names though, so I still am gonna call these guys Big Beak. This room here is, well, it's a room that contains them. It's okay from an introduction standpoint, since there's no way you're not gonna know how they work. But, as you saw, I didn't have a safe vantage point to deal with that first one over there, and this room takes a long time to get through. Okay. You know, these things actually make sense in this stage. I am not really bothered by the elephant heads being in Madman's stage. That being said, they're still a pain in the rear. And still confusing, and being introduced with spikes? Yeah, no. I am kind of confused by the fact that there's an invisible wall over here. I mean, you'd think you'd be going to the right, but no, you're going to the left. Oh well. I'll just chalk it up to the general strangeness of this stage. And I'm so glad I've got that vantage point to deal with the Springjackets there. And okay, we're doing this. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Haha! Alright, I think we're pretty much out of Spike City now. Thank goodness for that. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's sick of seeing spikes already. Good grief. And another spring jacket that's easy to take down thanks to having a good vantage point. I think that's probably the weakest point. I think that's probably the worst part for the poor spring jacket. He tends to end up in a lot of situations where you can completely neutralize his threat. Anyway, we've made it to the boss door, and oh, thank goodness. This stage. The one thing I like about this stage is Springjackets. It's quirky, fairly interesting, rather easy to dispatch, but that's neither here nor there in my opinion. He's probably the one aspect of this stage I really like. Otherwise, this is one of my least favorite stages in the entire game, bar none. It abuses instant death to an incredible degree, and the padded rooms are just so underutilized. It's kind of disappointing. You could have pulled off some actually rather impressive design with that, in my opinion, but nope. They're just there. And to add to matters, padded rooms versus Spike City, it's almost an odd dichotomy in the gimmick. Never mind the fact that this being Spike City renders the level a lot harder than some of the other Robot Master levels. But, like, I don't like this stage. I can't say I like this stage. I really can't. And I only have 2 chances at this. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna lie, Madman is one of the most obnoxious boss fights in the history of fan gaming. Or even just the history of everything. Madman is very irritating. Spreadshot is the least of your worries. That is Insane Cannon is the least of your worries. But that duck of his, on the other hand, the attack that totally isn't just a ripoff of Beetleman's attack. Oh boy, hope he doesn't start spamming that because you're gonna have a hard time dodging. Add to matters, if you aren't playing as Roll, that diving attack of his, your worst nightmare. The last place you want to be when fighting Madman is right next to him. In fact, he is obnoxious enough that I am going to make an effort to kill... Yeah, he is obnoxious enough that I just use his weakness to kill him. Because, seriously, I don't have the patience to keep trying and trying to kill him Buster only on camera. Madman is one of the single worst bosses I've ever encountered in a fan game. He is so completely random and incredibly spammy. You all saw that. You basically get no room to even breathe. Top it all off, there's so much RNG to his attacks that it can, and there's basically no telegraphing to some of them that it can be. If you're playing as Mega Man, it is pretty much impossible to beat this battle without dying at least once or twice. Especially without Sleeping Sand. I don't like Madman. I don't like Madman at all. And I never want to see this stage again. Never. Defeating Madman gets us to his master weapon, of course. And it turns out it's the insane cannon, which, while it has a lot of uses, it is a rapid-fire spread shot of bullets, which, unfortunately, happens to be randomized. Meaning, if you're not shooting someone with this point blank, chances are you're going to miss. The top though, in short, irritating stage, incredibly obnoxious boss fight, borderline worthless weapon. I don't like Madman. I absolutely don't like Madman. And I don't think most people are going to, I don't think most of you are going to blame me. Silly concept, but the execution is completely terrible. Anyway. That's that for this episode, thank goodness. And for the next episode, we're going to still a fairly precarious stage, the one that I feel was a lot fairer than whatever that was. So, until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this more than I hope you enjoyed my suffering. And I shall see you for the next episode. Until then, goodbye!